Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of Black Lightning. This time it's And the Devil Brought the Plague, the Book of Green Light.
More green light.
And a really, really long title.
Yeah.
These titles aren't going to get much shorter. Anyway,
Why can't these titles be more like Doom Patrol?
Oh, I can't wait for Doom Patrol.
2 words.
But anyway, I kind of enjoyed this episode. It had some good parts and some okay parts.
I mean, overall, I still don't really like the show.
Yeah, that's fair.
For what it is, this episode was okay.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You've got to think, in the grand scheme of the episodes you've seen, this is a pretty good, at least so far, I'd say it's an alright one.
Yeah.
Although, once again, I've said it, to me, the most appealing plot point is once again Anissa.
Yes!
She's the most appealing part, but it's not her show.
She's for the investigator grandfather who...
Exactly.
Investigated some stuff about missing children or something, or people with powers or whatever, because she's curious about why she's kind of strong and stuff.
Exactly, and then she's finding out that he was involved, and then she's getting involved, and then she goes and buys a new superhero suit, and then she breaks into a place and gets more information, so, yeah. A lot of stuff happening with Anissa, which I'm really enjoying where things are going with her.
Meanwhile, the other sister is still a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, the other girls, sure, they were being bitches. See, in this episode...
Everyone's bitch.
Well, in this show, there's quite a few moments where you can see both sides of things. Like with the girl, it's like, yes, the other girls were being bitches more, but still violence is not the answer. Or with Tobias and his sister and his father,
Yeah.
you can see why he'd be angry. The father was downright abusive. He hit the daughter just for telling him not to be mean to the boy, and yeah, so the father was unnecessarily mean to Tobias just because he had hospital bills, and he's different because he was born albino. So, for those who don't know, black people can be born albino, so they look white. But
that's true. A lot of people make that mistake all the time and don't know how being albino works, because people who are albino, those are still more genetically closer to those of African descent. Just because his skin is pale, you look at the rest of the facial features.
Yeah, he's got like the big lips and all, but yeah, so his father was downright abusive just because he didn't fit in with the family, and maybe his albino condition came with some other medical issues or something, because he had hospital bills to pay.
I don't know. They didn't go into it. That's the thing. They don't give you every information straight away. They kind of spoon feed everyone's backstories. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I actually really like that Tobias plot, because you know me, I like a plot where villains are kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, I know. He was doing nothing towards Black Lightning. The sister said...
Except for maybe a brief scene where he confronted Gamby.
Yeah. But Gamby is still kind of weird, suspicious-ish, where he's not telling everything. Like, he's been talking to Tobias.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tobias was interesting in this one, because it's like, his sister was like, yeah, if you want to feel better, you got to take on your first enemy, our abusive father. So yeah, we can understand why he would hate him, and he wants him to die slowly.
Well, I mean, he did. He broke his back and clearly made it in a way where he's going to suffocate slowly on the floor, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I always enjoy a plot where villains are out doing their own thing, but yeah. And then, of course, you've got Jefferson's plot where his power... At first it seems cool because he can fly and do all that stuff, and he's got this cool scene.
But then he's been passing out and stuff.
Yeah, then he's been passing out and stuff.
Which led to the ending where he didn't do a very good job of fighting that guy.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the second episode of Flash with Barry. Except it's actually used as a lot more of a vital plot point rather than just saying, oh, Barry's hungry. Yeah. Whereas here it's like, Whereas here it's like, oh, he's not well, and he actually goes out. Which is interesting because, there's been a lot of times on Flash, or even more so Arrow, where, like, they're not well, but they're like, I'm still going to go out there. No, you can't go out there. But this time I feel like it's actually more plot relevant. Like, usually they persevere through it, whereas here he actually doesn't.
Yeah, it's actually affecting him.
Yeah, which honestly is more interesting, because usually there's been times where, like, Oliver is on vertigo or something and he still pulls through, whereas here it's like, no, he's not doing well. He should have listened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there were about 4 plots, and, the Anissa plot was really good, because I like where they're going with her journey. The Tobias plot's great, of course, because villains. And then, Jefferson plot's kind of half and half. He's being a bit arrogant, and then, of course, nobody likes Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go as high as 7.5.
I'll give it a nice 8. I am warming up to it. It's not as bad as some of the previous episodes. I actually quite liked this one, but that's the thing. This show kind of often has like 3 or 4 plots, and it's more like, okay, well, I like this plot more, and I like this plot not as much, and it also kind of makes it tricky, because like when an episode has like basically one plot, it's easy. You could say, well, I really like this plot, or I really hated this plot. But when there's like 4 plots, you kind of have to think, well, I like this plot, but I don't like this plot. But
so you gotta balance it out.
Yeah. Anyway, what is the next episode called?
3 Sevens, the Book of Thunder.
Well, the name kind of makes me excited because it might be
3 Sevens makes me think of gambling.
I didn't think of that.
777, you want that on the slot machine.
Oh, yeah, what am I thinking? I was more thinking in the latter half of the title. But I suppose we'll get into that soon. Anyway, we'll see you next time, because he's still asleep on the concrete floor. For more Black Lightning and other things as well, see you next time, guys.